My name is Dawit Baek, and I have had bipolar disorder for 12 years. I've been hospitalized a total of 10 times during this span, but I've come to a point where I have not been hospitalized for more than 2.5 years. I just recently graduated from Handong Global University, majoring in counseling psychology and business management. I'm currently an aspiring life coach, author of 2 books, and a hip-hop musician. You can check out my albums by typing up my name, Dawit Baek. I've had many relapses, which included numerous depressive episodes as well. Today, I'd like to share with you how to cope with such phases and come out of them quicker. I'll be sharing with you guys the first 5 ways in which you can overcome bipolar depression. I'll be making another video covering the next 5. I actually have a lot of depressive symptoms at the present moment, and I guess this video can act as a reminder for getting out of this dreadful state. Anyhow, my first tip is exercise, preferably aerobic exercise. Exercising will not only get your body moving, but it will also get your neurotransmitters and hormones to run in a positive way. Exercise releases endorphins and dopamine within the brain, and this will allow someone to feel more positive and can speed up their cognition. Basically, exercise changes the brain chemistry, and that it can also reduce anxiety, increase focus, and increase the growth of new brain cells. I remember going to an American football camp in which I was able to come out of my depression because of the routine I had to be part of, along with, the positive effects of the exercise had on my brain. Now, exercise doesn't have to be very intense. For around 2 years now, I've been walking 5 kilometers almost every day as a form of exercise to keep both my body and mind healthy. This is the exercise I actually recommend the most because you can do it at any point of time, and you could do so on a consistent basis. It's true that you won't lose as many calories as running or any other sport that requires a lot of movement, but the time you walk will add up, and it will definitely become easier and easier to exercise. On my walks, I like to listen to Sebashi, the Korean version of TED Talks for language learning, Korean news. I like to listen to podcasts, the Bible, and gospel music, which I can pray to. You can also socialize while doing this activity, whether that person you're talking to is there beside you or speaking to you through the phone. I often see this activity as killing 2 birds with 1 stone, where you can do something productive while getting the right exercise to slowly draw you out of depression. Of course, more intensive exercises can have more of an impact on your neurotransmitters and hormones, but make sure you do them consistently. Recently, I have added around 1 kilometer of running after my walks to make sure I can stabilize in terms of mood. My second tip is to train your brain. This can be a variety of things, which includes reading, writing, and watching. Read when you can, even though it can be incredibly difficult. You should keep learning something to make more neural connections in your brain, which will get you out of a cognitive slump. It can be excruciatingly difficult at times, but understand you have to continue to train your brain again. Depression often follows after a manic episode, so you can imagine yourself coming down from mania and that you're now on crutches. Like you need to continue to move while you're on crutches to recover. The same goes with your bipolar brain. Read a sentence, a paragraph, a page, and continue to make progress, I recommend starting out by reading articles because we tend to have a short attention span and decreased focus when we are in a depressed state. Also, write. Sometimes when someone is depressed, their cognition goes down to the point they have a hard time talking. However, oftentimes, these people will still have the ability to write. So keep writing. Write as much as you can. Write about your struggles, your day, your past, your desires, and what you learn from your readings. Also, I know from experience that it is difficult to watch one thing for a long period of time. Take YouTube to your advantage and look for content that is useful for you. It can be from the 좋은의 마음약국 channel or from other sources that will give you good life tips. This brings me to the next point. The third tip is to invest in motivational material. I mentioned that you have to use your brain, but I would have to say motivational material is like caffeine. It feels like a stimulant when you read, listen to, and watch motivational material, which includes books, videos, podcasts, etc. This can get you hopeful. Motivational material or self-development content can get you more excited about the future and give you insight into how other people have overcome their struggles as well. It can help you find out your real desires or the desires you have had in the past, but have lost touch with because of your bipolar depression. The purpose of this motivational material should be to continue to push yourself out of the pit you are in so that you can continue to get the ball rolling again. Motivational material includes finding a purpose, mindfulness, goal setting, time management skills, interpersonal skills, and life principles, which you can use to not only get out of your depressed state, but onto your normal state as well. All of this relates to my fourth tip. Create good habits. This is where you do all of which I mentioned on a regular basis. This includes, exercising, reading articles, writing what's on your mind and heart, watching educational and motivational videos. What I should add here is that we should also develop good eating habits. The more we exercise and are exposed to motivational material, we will be more mindful and careful of what we put into our bodies. For instance, we probably won't eat a bunch of donuts when we walk or run on a regular basis. Eating the donuts would defeat the result of doing consistent exercise. Now, it is important to develop a morning routine to start the day. Once we group a few activities together to make a routine, it will become easier to do each of them compared to doing them separately. Our morning routine can be very simple, which includes 2 to 3 tasks. My personal morning routine includes around 4 activities, and it is important to note that they don't have to be at an exact time. Being bipolar might prevent us from doing so. So practice putting habits together to make a morning routine, while also doing the same for the evening routine. Make an evening routine where you put all your electronic devices out of your reach. In this evening routine, make sure you take your meds at an appropriate time and find what will help you sleep. This can be a form of meditation, prayer, reading, gentle music, writing, etc. Whether it is making your body more healthy, training your brain, giving you a good head start for your day, or helping you sleep, make sure you make good habits. The 5th tip is to lower your expectations. I know this might sound contradictory to that of which is taught in motivational material, but hear me out. We should apply what you learn from such material according to a depressed state. One of the main things we should therefore do in a depressed state is not to compare ourselves with others. We may say that our friends and peers are ahead of us and that we are held back because of our disorder. We may say that others don't have to go with the same issues that we go through and that things are unfair. We may say we are at a disadvantage and just feel like we are losers, but we are far from that. We are individuals who have a disorder that can make us more creative, compassionate, and even more driven than others. Depression is just a time where we are on crutches. Once we work to get rid of those crutches, we will be in a much better place where we will have more capacity to do the things we want. We just have to manage ourselves and remind ourselves that we should not, compare ourselves with others, but compare ourselves with ourselves yesterday. That is a key mindset to have in order to overcome depression, I believe. Just as a wrap up, the first tip is to exercise, preferably aerobic exercises. The second tip is to train your brain. The third tip is to invest in motivational material. The fourth tip is to create good habits. And the fifth and last tip is to lower your expectations. Those of you going through depression right now and feel like giving up, I'd just like to know that you can either win or lose to this disorder. If you're able to overcome it, you'll become that much more stronger, wiser, patient, and determined. There are so many virtues that will accumulate. Please consider this. I will be making part 2 of overcoming bipolar depression, so please follow the link below to watch the video. Thank you very much for listening to what I had to say on this topic.